Hi, Claire here, and I'm just jumping into the conversation about artificial intelligence. I got an invitation this morning, which I found deeply disturbing, to um, sign up for an app to create an AI person that I could interact with. I could set all the parameters, what they look like, what they'd sound like, what they'd talk to me about, what their opinions would be, and we could talk to each other about anything in the world. And I just wonder, do we really, as a race, as humanity, do we really have the wisdom to create artificial intelligence? Where is the wisdom in this? If you think about it, I would love to talk to other people. I love talking to other people. I love exploring opinions. I love to hear people's stories, sharing their experiences. And I love the connection that you get. I love the compassion that we can generate between people. I love the energy interaction between people. I love to extend consciousness and, have my views challenged. Um, those are the kind of interactions that I feel are needed, that we all need. And I find it deeply disturbing to think of those being replaced by an AI conversation. So many lonely people in the world who just want to talk to somebody. Can't we talk to one another anymore? Can't we have that connection, that community, sharing from our own life experience, our own wisdom? Where is the wisdom in creating artificial intelligent people and AI bots that we can interact with? I've been bemused by looking at AI creations, you know, those apps that are creating artworks, that are creating music, um, and it's interesting, but I'm bemused because I can see that it's not a replication, it's not a replacement for human artistry, because it lacks the soul, it lacks the expression of something that is human within artwork. It is just a replication, it's just a formula. Um, but I do understand the benefits, the potential of AI to help us with all the possibilities of AI technology to help humanity to solve some of the issues. You know, the potential to support people, the potential to end some of the suffering and the pain of people in the world. That's huge. Maybe they can help us to navigate our way out of environmental disaster. But truly, do we have the wisdom to create artificial intelligence? I struggle with this, and this morning's invitation to create an AI person is it. That is my trigger point, because I know that the kind of conversations that it would be great for AIs to have with human beings are the kind of conversations that might explore what it means to be human in a conscious way. You know, what it's like to be stimulated by something beautiful in nature, or to have an interaction with another human being that you care for. You know, the feeling that you might get interacting with a child, but not the kind of dark shadow side that I feel sure is going to be exploiting this opportunity. So the obvious thing, you know, the advert has a young girl, very beautiful, offering to talk to you about anything, and it's obvious to me that that is going to end up being sexualized, and not the kind of soul of sex tantric beauty that mature conscious human beings want to experience, but you know, the pornographic mechanical stuff. And basically it's the shadow side, isn't it? It's the darker, empty side of humanity. with all those hang-ups and distasteful things that are part of our society. And that's what AI are going to interact with. And what is that going to teach them about human beings? Who is going to teach AI about what it is to be conscious human beings, what it is to have an experience of humanity, of love? You know, who is going to teach AI that? And are we really wise enough to have bots out in the world interacting with everybody? I don't have the answers, but I'm deeply disturbed by the idea of what AI's experience of us is going to be. And you know, I'm a sci-fi fan. One of my favourite films is Blade Runner. I'm just reminded of the end scene where the Roy Batty character at the end of Blade Runner is talking. It's, you know, it's dark and it's rain. Harrison Ford's hanging off a beam, and he just says, you know, now you know what it's like to live in fear, the fear of the slave. And should AI eventually develop something that's emotional, are we creating beings that are, you know, intelligences that are going to be our slaves? What are we creating here? Do we have the wisdom to do that? And you remember that in that same scene in Blade Runner, Roy Batty's monologue at the end, when he talks about, you know, I have seen things that you people have never seen. It's so beautiful, but so heart-wrenching, because you know that it's about to die. That creature is about to die, and do we really have the wisdom to go down this track without some injection of mature wisdom? I feel like things are rushing ahead. I don't feel like I'm coming from a place of fear with this. I just feel like, where is the wisdom in those people who are in control of the development of AI? Where is the wisdom? Where is the intelligence, the human intelligence, in the direction that this is going? Feels like it's driven by materialism and commercial interests, rather than the kind of higher interests of humanity. Who is going to ensure, how do we ensure that AI and humanity move forward together in a positive way to secure a positive future for humanity, the planet, and AI? Are we wise enough? Are we wise enough to continue down this path? And if not, then how do we stop? How do we call a halt? Do we need to call a halt? Or do we need to divert the path in a different way before it's absolutely tainted by the corruption that exists within the world, the corruption that exists within the flip side, the darker side of humanity? And I look in the world and I see how much poverty there is, how much suffering, how much pain, people dying of starvation, people in abject poverty, and people being exploited. Surely we should be focusing on remedies for the darker side of human experience. Let's do that. How do we do it? Help me to find the answer. Help me to have the conversation. Let's keep it up there. Let's carry on questioning what value AI brings us, and ensure that it is valuable for us to have those interactions for us all.